Robben Island, off the coast of Cape Town, South Africa. A prison cell, 8 feet by 7 feet. Stone floor. Concrete walls. No furniture. A thin mat. 1 blanket. A man sits in this cell. Prisoner 466/64. He's 46 years old. He's been sentenced to life in prison for fighting against apartheid, the racist system that oppresses black South Africans. He will spend the next 27 years in this cell. Breaking rocks. Forced labor. No sunglasses in the blinding sun. His eyes will be permanently damaged. In 1985, he'll be offered freedom. If he renounces violence, he'll refuse. His name is Nelson Mandela, and he's about to become the most important political prisoner in the world. This is not just a story about surviving prison. This is a story about emerging from 27 years in a cell without bitterness or hatred. This is about refusing freedom to maintain your principles. This is about choosing forgiveness over revenge when you have every right to be angry. This is Nelson Mandela's complete journey. From freedom fighter to prisoner to president. Nelson Mandela is born July 18, 1918, in the small village of Mvizo, South Africa. His father is a chief. Nelson grows up with a sense of dignity and leadership. But South Africa is under white minority rule. Black South Africans face brutal oppression, segregation, forced removals, pass laws that restrict movement, banned from voting, second-class citizens in their own land. The National Party takes power, institutes apartheid, legal racial segregation, separate development. In reality, white supremacy codified into law. Mandela, a lawyer, joins the African National Congress fights against apartheid, organizes peaceful protests, boycotts, strikes. The government responds with violence. 1960, Sharpeville Massacre. Police kill 69 unarmed black protesters. Mandela makes a decision. Peaceful protest isn't working. The government only understands force. The ANC forms an armed wing, Umkhonto we Sizwe, Spear of the Nation. They target infrastructure, not people. Sabotage. Not terrorism. But it's enough to make Mandela a wanted man. August 5, 1962. Mandela is arrested. Disguised as a chauffeur, he's captured near Howick in Natal Province. October 1963. The Rivonia trial begins. Mandela and other ANC leaders are charged with sabotage and plotting to overthrow the government. The likely sentence, death. April 20, 1964. Mandela gives his famous speech from the dock. For hours. He knows he might be sentenced to death. He doesn't care. His final words. I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. The courtroom is silent. June 12, 1964. The verdict, guilty. But not death. Life in prison. Robben Island. Maximum security prison. 7 miles off Cape Town. Cold. Windy. Isolated. Mandela's cell, Section B, cell number 5. Later moved to Section D, cell 4. Dimensions. 8 feet by 7 feet. Barely large enough to lie down. Stone floor. Concrete walls. Small barred window high up. Can't see out, only sky. Furniture, none. A thin mat to sleep on. 1 blanket. A bucket for a toilet. The routine. 5:30 a.m. Wake up. Wash in cold water. 6 a.m. Breakfast. Usually corn porridge. 7 a.m. Work begins. In the limestone quarry. The quarry is the worst. Prisoners break rocks with hammers and picks. All day. Every day. Backbreaking labor under the blazing sun. The guards forbid sunglasses. The glare from the white limestone is blinding. Over the years, Mandela's tear ducts are permanently damaged. His eyes will water for the rest of his life. Lunch, 30 minutes. Boiled corn. Sometimes cabbage. 4 p.m., return to cells. Dinner. More corn. Occasionally meat for Indian and colored prisoners, but not for black prisoners. Apartheid extends even to prison rations. 5 p.m., locked in cells for 14 hours. The guards try to break Mandela. Humiliate him. They call him by his number, not his name. Forbid talking. Punish any defiance with isolation. But Mandela refuses to be broken. He studies. Despite restrictions, he and other prisoners secretly study for degrees. They turn Robben Island into Robben Island University, teaching each other law, history, politics. He exercises. Every morning. Push-ups. Running in place. Staying strong. He debates. With guards. With fellow prisoners. He never stops arguing for justice, for freedom, for the end of apartheid. Some guards are cruel. Some, over time, soften. Mandela treats everyone with dignity. Even the guards who abuse him. They are products of the system, he says. It's the system we must destroy, not the people in it. Visitors are rare. Mandela is allowed one 30-minute visit every 6 months. His wife Winnie. His children. They can't touch. Must speak through glass. Letters are censored. Mandela writes carefully, knowing every word will be read, analyzed, possibly used against him. 27 years. 10,000 days. In an 8x7 cell. Most people would emerge destroyed. Angry. Bitter. Broken. Mandela emerges stronger. Wiser. More determined. By the 1980s, apartheid is under attack worldwide. Economic sanctions. International pressure. The Free Mandela campaign. His face is on posters, t-shirts, protest signs globally. In South Africa, violence is escalating. The government is struggling to maintain control. January 31st, 1985. President P.W. Botha makes Mandela an offer. Release him from prison. Give him freedom. On one condition, he must publicly renounce violence. He must commit the ANC to peaceful protest only. Most people after 23 years in prison would take this deal. Freedom. Family. Fresh air. A life outside concrete walls. Mandela refuses. Mandela can't respond publicly himself. He's still in prison, forbidden from making public statements. So his daughter Zinzi reads his response at a rally in Soweto. February 10th, 1985. Thousands gathered, waiting to hear Mandela's answer. I am a member of the African National Congress. I have always been a member of the ANC, and I will remain a member of the ANC until the day I die. What freedom am I being offered while the organization of the people remains banned? Only free men can negotiate. Prisoners cannot enter into contracts. I cannot and will not give any undertaking at a time when I and you, the people, are not free. Your freedom and mine cannot be separated. He stays in prison. Principles over freedom. 1985, 1986, 1987, 1988, 1989, Mandela remains imprisoned. But change is coming. Inside South Africa, the resistance intensifies. Outside, pressure mounts. P.W. Botha suffers a stroke. F.W. de Klerk becomes president. De Klerk is pragmatic. He knows apartheid cannot last. The question is no longer if it will end, but how. Secret negotiations begin. Between Mandela and the government. In prison. Quietly. Carefully. Mandela is moved from Robben Island to Pollsmoor Prison in 1982, then to Victor Verster Prison in 1988. Better conditions. Signs of change. February 2nd, 1990. President de Klerk makes a stunning announcement to Parliament. The ANC ban is lifted. Nelson Mandela will be released. Unconditionally. After 27 years, 6 months, and 6 days, Nelson Mandela is going home. February 11th, 1990. 4 p.m. Cape Town. Mandela walks out of Victor Verster Prison, hand in hand with Winnie. He's 71 years old. Gray hair. Dignified. Unbowed. Thousands line the streets. Cheering. Crying. Singing. Waving ANC flags, illegal days before, now carried openly. Mandela raises his fist. The salute of the ANC. The salute of resistance. Cameras flash. The world watches. This is one of the most significant moments of the 20th century. That evening, Mandela speaks at Cape Town City Hall. His first public speech in 27 years. Friends, comrades, and fellow South Africans. I greet you all in the name of peace, democracy, and freedom for all. And here's the remarkable part. The part that will define his legacy more than anything. I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society. No calls for revenge. No hatred. No bitterness. After 27 years in prison, Mandela emerges preaching reconciliation. The hard work begins. Apartheid laws still exist. The government is still white minority rule. The country is on the edge of civil war. Mandela and de Klerk begin negotiations. CODESA, Convention for a Democratic South Africa. Multiple parties. Tense discussions. Violence outside while they talk inside. Conservative whites want to maintain power. Radical black activists want immediate revolution. Mandela walks a tightrope. He knows, if they get this wrong, South Africa becomes a bloodbath. Rwanda. Yugoslavia. Ethnic slaughter. He pushes for one person, one vote. Majority rule. But also protections for minorities. A new constitution. Truth and reconciliation, not revenge. Mandela and de Klerk share the Nobel Peace Prize for their work ending apartheid peacefully. But the prize is premature. The hardest part is still ahead, the election. April 27, 1994. South Africa's first democratic election. The first time black South Africans can vote. Lines stretch for miles. People wait hours. Some elderly black South Africans, voting for the first time in their lives, weep as they cast their ballots. The results. ANC, 62.6% of the vote. National Party, 20.4%. The ANC wins. Nelson Mandela will be president. May 10, 1994. Presidential inauguration. Pretoria. Nelson Mandela, prisoner 466/64, the man who spent 27 years in an 8x7 cell, is sworn in as President of South Africa. The first black president in South African history. Fighter jets fly overhead. The same military that enforced apartheid now salutes its new commander-in-chief. Mandela's first words as president. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. Most revolutions end in revenge. The oppressed become the oppressors. Cycles of violence continue. Mandela chooses a different path. He establishes the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, led by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. The goal, not punishment but truth. Not revenge, but healing. Perpetrators of apartheid-era crimes can confess. Tell the truth about what they did. Face their victims. If they show genuine remorse, they can receive amnesty. Victims can tell their stories. Be heard. Be acknowledged. Begin to heal. It's not perfect. Many victims feel justice wasn't served. Many perpetrators never confess. But it prevents a bloodbath. It allows the nation to move forward without descending into civil war. Mandela leads by example. He visits Betsy Verwoerd, widow of the architect of apartheid. He invites his former prison guards to his presidential inauguration. He wears the Springbok rugby jersey, a symbol of white South Africa, to unite the nation during the 1995 Rugby World Cup. Mandela serves one 5-year term as president. He could have stayed longer. Could have become president for life like so many African leaders. He refuses. I don't want to overstay my welcome, he says. At 81, he steps down. Peacefully transfers power to his successor, Thabo Mbeki. In retirement, Mandela focuses on AIDS activism. In South Africa, AIDS is devastating, but it's stigmatized. Mandela speaks openly about it. When his son Makatho dies of AIDS in 2005, Mandela announces it publicly, breaks the stigma. He also focuses on children's causes. Education, healthcare, the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. December 5, 2013. Nelson Mandela dies at age 95, surrounded by family. At home in Johannesburg, the world mourns. Presidents, prime ministers, celebrities, ordinary people. Everyone remembers where they were when they heard Mandela died. People ask, how? How do you spend 27 years in prison and emerge without bitterness? Mandela explained it simply. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. If I had emerged from prison with anger and hatred toward white people, I would have wasted my years in prison. Prison taught him. Hatred destroys the hater more than the hated. Revenge perpetuates cycles of violence. Forgiveness breaks the cycle. But Mandela's forgiveness wasn't weakness. It was strategic, pragmatic. He knew South Africa couldn't afford a race war. That reconciliation was the only path to survival. He chose forgiveness. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. From freedom fighter to prisoner to president to global icon. From 8x7 cell to the highest office in the land. From breaking rocks to building a nation. Nelson Mandela could have emerged from prison consumed by rage. Could have led South Africa into civil war. Could have taken revenge on his oppressors. Instead, he chose reconciliation, unity, forgiveness. Not because he forgot, but because he knew the only way forward was together. 27 years in prison. One purpose, a free, democratic, equal South Africa. He lost his freedom to gain it for 50 million people. It always seems impossible until it's done. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.